My name is Jonathan Parks, and welcome to Jonathan's Nature Crafts. I must inform you that I do not live in this house by myself, but live here with other people. Sometimes other members of the household may have to walk through areas where I might be recording with other family members on the phone. If you hear any noise like that, please feel free to disregard. We are doing our best to get noise canceling equipment, which may at least keep you from hearing exactly what is being said. Thank you for considering. Okay, so I'd say that this is going to be the finale to the series, and while I'm doing it, just wanted to come on here just to make that announcement, because I didn't get around to making it in the last one, and I'm going to show you all a little something as I do it. It's just another demonstration of what you saw in the last video, where I'm going to do the same step again on this other figure and try to make it for the best of the work. And just want to say for sure that this will definitely be the end of the carving part. There will be some sanding that will be done to these figures before anything else like the finishing touches are done, but do want to kind of come on to say that this will definitely be the end of the carving part, because just about all the carving steps that need to be done are done. So that's how we're working along to make this turn out to be the special figure and character that it's going to be when we get a little extra work done into what we do, and see how this is going to brighten up the lives of us all. I say that there's little times when we work things away just to make what we can of them, and of all things I say that this is just a little type of amount of work that we're going to work about to make it so we can all see that Jesus is the Lord and Jesus is the King. You know, I've been thinking about this, and you know how there's that little finish I have that's a mix of gel varnish and mineral spirits. Was thinking when it comes to these, I might finish it with those. Of course, these other two ones I made, I finished them with linseed oil because that was what the rest of their displays were finished with. But it's going to be a little bit of a kind of work that kind of makes it where these will have a little more something in common with those nativities I made, because that little special flat plane pattern you've seen me use for the nativities and the creatures, I've applied that same pattern to many other things I've made, and let it be my best examples of all the little work I could do just to make things so they're gonna turn out a little nicer, a little better, and see how we can work our way about all we do just to kind of show how Christ is represented in things. And of all the ways I try to represent Christ, I could tell you another little thing, that I was sort of at this show one time where I walked past this young lady and said, "How are you doing?" But she pointed to her ear as if to tell me she was deaf. I pointed to my lips, hoping she could read my lips, and kind of just motioned my lips as if to speak to her. And she brought out for me a little notepad and a pen to have me write down what I wanted to say, and so I did, and that was when I learned a little something about her. You know, sometimes it can be a little difficult to communicate now and then when you don't even know the right ways. But tell you what I did at the end of my show was I had a little notepad and pen with me, so I wrote her a little note just saying it was good to see you today, just telling her I hope you made good sales, I hope you enjoyed your time out here, things like that. And she just kind of gave me a little sign language for thank you. I didn't know sign language at the time, but I assumed that was what she meant, and then kind of looked it up a little more and found out that yes, that was what she was signing me for. And so makes me think how, you know, they talk about how that was just brave of me. Some of my friends tell me that because they were sure a lot of people were probably afraid or a little more timid or unnerved, but I know what it's like to be different. I know what it's like to have people be unnerved by you because you're different. I know what it's like to not have many people want to talk to you or speak to you for that reason. And so, you know, I relate to people in those situations and try to be generous and kind to them because I know what it's like myself. I know the feeling myself, you know, and that was just what the way was for me as far as how things just went in those days. And oh, just to go back to all my old days, I say that there were times I didn't quite know the reasons for everything, but you know, you find out that sometimes, just sometimes, there's little things like that in life you learn a little something from, like I did from that. And I'll tell you all that when it came down to everything, I say that this little carving shell work a little ways into us to make us see a little more grace for what we do, and finally come down to where we are just carving out the whole figure, making it so we just see the Lord Jesus come out the way he is. And so of all things, I say this is just how we've done, this is just how we've worked. And I've got the little figure done out just the way it ought to be, and probably will have a few more things to say before we finalize this video. And as for now, probably would say we've got a few minutes left. Could probably just talk a little more, but just wanted to share that I've got these other flat plate nativity figures carved. The ones I just showed you are walnut. These ones are sapelli. I kind of got to looking through my old scraps to find a piece of walnut and a piece of sapelli that would be the good shape for the manger, so I finally came up with that. Of course, Christmas is over now, but there's going to be another season in which those will be coming out. I've already sanded the little mangers, but still have yet to sand the two figures of Mary and the two figures of Joseph. And just want to say that I've kind of enjoyed this season a little more. I've got a birthday coming up on Thursday, February the 1st. I'll be 44. So that's how time is coming along in my age. And so I've done a lot of things over all these years and feel like there's been so much to accomplish over time. Some stuff I've kind of put away, some stuff I've retired from, but still feel like of all things I've still got all the letters I received from all the years I was doing all the stuff I was. And if you remember my Reverb Nation page with all my music, I finally decided to delete that because, you know, I just kind of decided I no longer wanted to be called the Autistic Rev or the Rev or whatever names I used, because nonetheless, I mean, I never was a pastor or a preacher, and people thought I was just because I gave myself that nickname. And second of all, I've learned that there are people who, even though they really are pastors and preachers, don't really like to be called Reverend or claim the title or wear the label Reverend because it's a name that they believe is used to describe God. Around the time I was using that name, had a young girl message me on Facebook to tell me about that, trying to convince me to use a different name, but I wouldn't do it so many years, and just kind of had my own opinions and convictions about it. But lately it's just become more of my conviction to believe that myself, and to believe there's only one place in the Bible where the name Reverend is being used to describe God. And so I've just kind of have a different point of view myself these days, and have pretty much deleted everything online that had that name. But as nonetheless, I appreciate you all coming on here to watch. Hope you all will stay in touch and keep tuned. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I hope to see you in the next video. Stay tuned.